Gallery, and today we're talking with Tanya with the Heart Gallery of North Texas. We're going to ask her a few questions. Can you talk a little bit about your role with the Heart Gallery and how long you've worked in adoption?
Well, I've been doing adoptions for 27 years. I am the Director of Child Advocacy for the Gladney Center for Adoption. And Gladney has been very helpful and engaging with the Heart Gallery and wanting to make the Heart Gallery very successful in the North Texas area. And so when the opportunity came up, Gladney did request to host the Heart Gallery in this area. And since I have always been a fan of the Heart Gallery, even years and years ago, they let me do it, and they're letting it grow in this area and helping us be successful in finding homes for children.
So Tanya, can you talk about what the process looks like to adopt a child and also how the Heart Gallery fits into that?
Well, the Heart Gallery North Texas, our focus are the kids in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And we are looking for families that want to adopt and want to adopt older children. But we only focus on the kids that live in the 19 regions around Dallas-Fort Worth. And to adopt a child from foster care is pretty much is a process. It takes a little bit of time for a family to do that. But the families need to understand that these children do come from trauma. They come from loss. They have some abandonment and trust issues and things like that. So families do have to have specialized training before they adopt a child that's gone through this kind of stuff. Your traditional parenting methods are wonderful, but they need a little extra boost when they've gone through this kind of loss. So the parents go through the training, they go through all the basic stuff that most parents go through for any kind of adoption, meaning home studies and background checks and all of that. But the support is there for children and families that adopt out of foster care that's a little bit more than like a newborn adoption. Right. The families that do this, they do this because they want to make a difference in a child's life as much as they want to be a parent. And so that's a little bit different than your basic adoption. The Heart Gallery is involved because we work for these children in our area, and there are 11 Heart Galleries in the state of Texas. So there's a total of 11 Heart Galleries. We just handled the kids in those 19 regions, the Heart Gallery of North Texas. And so we're searching all over the place, every state, every part of Texas, everywhere, for families that are open to adopting these kids, and families that understand the needs, and families that won't give up. You know, that's the main thing is people think it's going to be easy, and it's not. You do need support. You do need a big group of people around you to tell you, yes, you're doing a good job as a mom, yes, you're doing a good job as a dad, and the child to be told that this is your last move. Because remember, when they're in foster care, they're moving all the time from one home to another, and it takes a little bit of time for them to realize this is the last move.
So you mean these children are legally available for adoption?
They are legally free for adoption. Okay. The parental rights are already terminated. They're just sitting in foster care waiting for the next move, whatever that's going to be. And Heart Gallery's goal is to find those kids and make that next move their final move.
Okay. So we're looking for families. You spoke a little bit about what type of family, but can you elaborate on that a little more?
Well, families that are interested in making a difference in a child's life, families that understand what trauma does to a person, families that are mature and can understand that these children come with a past, and their past is very important to them. They need to continue to love those birth parents and their birth family, and still want to make a better life for themselves too. And that's where an adoptive family comes in, is to help that child grow and still love their past but cherish their future. And so that's the kind of family. The type of children, are usually older kids. You're not going to get a baby from foster care as a straight adopt. And Heart Gallery mainly works for a straight adopt type, not foster to adopt. It's a straight adopt. And so you're going to have older kids. You're going to have kids that are part of a sibling group. That means 2 kids, 3 kids. I've heard of sibling groups as high as 7 and 8 kids that get adopted. Yeah. I know personally, I placed the largest sibling group I placed was was 5 kids. And so for 5 kids to move into a brand new mom and dad is a big deal, actually. So those are the kids that need the help that's the hardest to place. The older ones, the large sibling groups, and then of course the ones with medical challenges. And you know, a child with a medical challenge, you know, people don't try as hard because they, you know, it's harder to find those families. And so that's what I'm looking for, those kind of families that do make a difference, that understand what they're getting into and that don't give up.
How long is the process from start to finish to adopt a child?
It depends mainly on the family, more so than you would think. You know, you hear about these long waits and things like that, but if a family is fast with their paperwork, fast with their training, they get their all of their ducks in a row as far as their resources and all of that, then, and they're open to age, number of kids. Race also is a big factor. So families that are open to all races will get placement really quickly. Families that are open to kids that are 12 years old will get placement pretty quickly. But if you're wanting to do an adoption through foster care and you want a 2-year-old, it's going to take forever. And so that's the biggest difference. The families, I love families that adopt multiple children that have that experience, and they'll tell you that love is a great part of it, is a strong part of it, but they'll also tell you just, you know, other kids in their home that are adopted also makes a difference too, and which is kind of an interesting part. They're not the only one that way. So I love those kind of families too that adopt more than once, and they, you know, unfortunately, like all moms and dads, they learn on the first one and they get better by the second one. But anyway, that's the type of family and type of child.
I think you just answered my next question, but why is this effective? How is this helping these children, the Heart Galleries?
I think the average person thinks if a child is in foster care, they leave foster care and go back to their birth family. I don't think people really realize that there are children that their parents' rights are terminated and these children are free for adoption. And so the Heart Gallery is a voice for these children. We get out there, and not only do we have the gallery, but we also do information meetings at the galleries. And so families that can come and learn about adopting children in the foster care system come to these gallery meetings and learn about the process.
Okay. So on adoption, how has adoption changed in the last 25 years?
Well, yeah, I've been doing it for 25 years, yeah, and it was interesting to me how secretive it was 25 years ago. Adoption was secretive. It was almost a bad word in a lot of areas, that if you were an adopted child, you didn't really share that with people. If you were parents of adopted children, you didn't share that. I think over the years, Heart Gallery efforts in different agencies across the country have shown that adoption is really a wonderful tool for children that need families, and for birth families also, parents that aren't ready to be parents. The relationships that are built between birth parents and adoptive parents is probably the biggest change that I've seen. The openness, the healthy conversations, it's no longer a secret, you know, and that to me, secrets are usually bad anyway, and so you need to get it out there that it is positive. I love hearing the positive adoption stories now, where before there were so many out there that were never shared. And anyway, it's just, that's the biggest change.
Okay. And the Heart Gallery, can you share with us a time, a story, a family where the Heart Gallery has really helped one of these kiddos?
Well, the funniest story, and it has helped, it's in the process of helping right now. So we did, one thing that Heart Gallery in North Texas does that's pretty exciting is that we're part of Wednesday's Child, which is WFAA Channel 8 News. Every Wednesday they feature a child, and part of my job is to help find locations to film these children. And there's a location in River Oaks called Grump's Hamburgers that let us do a car show at his facility, and it was a lunchtime car show. The whole community, not the whole, but 25 cars showed up for this one child to do a car show because he loved old classic cars. Yeah. And that airing showed on WFAA, and it wasn't, I mean, the airing didn't even get over with before I started getting phone calls for this one little boy, 8-year-old little boy. He just loves cars, and it was interesting to me because it was the dads that were calling me more than the moms, and they related to the cars and they related to the boys. And one of the dads is a man that works at John Peter Smith Hospital, and he said, "This kid reminds me of my son when he was that age, and I'm just ready." And he's in the process of getting licensed and approved to adopt. And I mean, it's, to me, that's the exciting part. But to see that much excitement from the work that WFAA does and the Heart Gallery in our own community, and it's going to change this kid's life. It really is, this adoption.
I love that. You can tell your excitement. So what are some other things, or what is something you really love about working in adoption and what you do?
You know, it changes all the time because it changes with each case. I think the teenagers, I placed a lot of kids over my career, I mean, tons of kids. And the teenagers are the most exciting for me to see find a family finally and move on with their life and to start to trust and love adults again. The last true placement I did when I was really doing Heart Gallery, before really doing Heart Gallery, was a 15-year-old boy. And he was adopted by parents with no other children. Mom was a teacher, dad was a firefighter, they'd never had kids, and it was just a perfect match for them. And this child had been in care since he was 6 years old. And here at 15, he finally gets a family. And it took a while for him to trust, but the fact that he was just being doted on, you know, by both mom and dad, it really didn't take as long as you would have thought. And he's doing, I just got graduation announcement from him, just graduated high school, he's going to college, and, you know, wanted me to be part of that part of his life, which is just exciting.
Tanya, I love that.
Isn't that cool?
I know. Gosh. So how can people help the Heart Gallery?
Well, right now we're looking for photographers all over the community. We take photographs of kids in 19 counties, so that's Dallas, Fort Worth, and then all the counties that are surrounding that. And so, like next week, we're all going to get in our cars and go to foster homes and take new pictures because these kids change so quickly.
Absolutely.
We need new pictures all the time. So we are looking for volunteer photographers. I'd love to have one photographer in each county and that they could just handle the kids in that county and get new, fresh pictures up on the Heart Gallery and out there in the community so people can see. So that's the first thing, is photographers, getting them out there. And then just being an advocate for the kids. If you have a business, if you have a nonprofit, if you have an event, if you have a church, if you have anything that you think a Heart Gallery can be featured at, even for a day, for a month, whatever, we can come sit up a gallery. Okay. There are a lot of different ways that we do that. We have freestanding photographs on easels is one way. We have banners with kids' pictures on it's another way. We have digital on TVs where they're just rolling pictures, and so we can design whatever gallery fits that venue. But yeah, that would be the two best ways, being a photographer and then having a location for us to have a Heart Gallery. Once a family or a person goes to a gallery and they see a picture of a child or children that they might be interested in, there's a QR code, they just click onto that. And it takes them straight to the gallery. They can fill out paperwork. Even if you're a photographer, you can fill out a volunteer form from there. If you're a person interested in learning about adoption, that's another place that you can do that.
Okay, yeah. It's easy. Yeah. What about, are there any other needs other than photographers that you can think of?
So I'm really starting to ask people that have businesses all over the place, businesses where we can film at. And so we, you know, like the auto car show that we did, Grumps was a great business, and that they offered to do that or let us use their parking lot and all of that. You know, I've gone to kids' corners, I've gone to FC Dallas, I've gone to the Mavericks, I've gone to, you know, some really big places, and I don't know all the great places there are out there in the community, but if you own a business and you think it would be a good place to film, and you know, cooking, I've done cooking shows, I've done dancing, I've done all kinds of things, and so all I do is ask a child, what is it that you're interested in experiencing or learning about, and they give me a couple of things that they want to learn how to do or try, and then we go and do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what's the easiest way to get in touch with you?
Well, I think at the end of this film, we're going to put all the phone numbers and the web page and everything on the site so that people can call us for those reasons.
Tanya, I want to thank you for your time today, and thank you for all the incredible work you've done on behalf of these kids and the Heart Gallery. If you would like to reach out to Tanya or to get any more information, we have that information coming up on your screen now, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions.